What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Ben Affleck's Batman movie. Now, this isn't exactly the same situation as saying, restore the Snyderverse and, release the Snyder Cut, and now we want a Justice League 2 and 3 from him, which I do think is going to pick up steam as the days, as the weeks, hopefully as the years go on, people keep after this, that we want, more Justice League movies. This is in the same vein as it, but it's not exactly the same, obviously, right? Because Zack wouldn't be directing it. But look, it really comes from the same kind of idea, is that I guess my personal opinion, I have never been the biggest fan of Ben Affleck's Batman, but I've never been against it whatsoever. I think ever since the very first time, even Batman vs. Superman, I did not like that movie at all when I watched it. I like it a little bit more after watching the extended version, but I still really, I'd say overall, don't like it. But I do like I like Henry Cavill as Superman, and I like Ben Affleck as Batman. I really, really do. I like their fight. I like, any Batman kind of scene. I actually like most of, if not all, of the Bruce Wayne stuff in anything that we've seen, Ben Affleck do in any of these movies. So I really think that they were going for something, obviously, right, with this, and I want to see it continued. Now, so many things have happened. It's a tough one. I mean, when you talk about doing a Justice League 2 or a 3 and going there, you have to think about ages with these people. You have to think about contracts. You have to think about if they want to come back, and each of them are different, and each of them have their own. Ray Fisher obviously has very unique situations with the entire thing. Ben Affleck does. Gal Gadot does. I mean, all of them really do, but, I mean, specifically for this situation for a Batman movie, I mean, Ben Affleck really, he was going to do it, right? He was going to have, obviously the directing thing and being a really big part of the Batman movie, and then he steps aside, and it's just over altogether. I really think what they were going to do was going to be something special. Really. I mean, we've heard so much about it in the past few months, in the past few years even, of, what Deathstroke would have been doing. Now we even know what would have happened afterwards, because you see the nightmare sequence with him and Deathstroke together. So, that, there'll be a lot of bad stuff that happens, but then obviously things will be a little bit okay. Taking place in Arkham Asylum, really leaning into even the Arkham games, taking some of what made the fights of those games so amazing. So they had, all of the talk of what we've heard this movie could have been has been absolutely amazing. And, like all of these things, I do like to, you got to keep it real. You got to be, you have to, I like to be optimistic. So I like to look on the optimistic side of, a side of things. I want these things to happen. I'm rooting for them. I will do whatever I can in my power to help the community and help these things happen, whatever we can actually end up doing. And obviously we've learned that our voices and the movement is very, very powerful. So it's not like it means nothing, right? But at the same time, you do have to be realistic. And it's like, okay, well, all of that stuff was quite a while ago, so he's aged even more. So now we're looking at, a 48-year-old, I think 48, 47-year-old Ben Affleck. Does he even want to do it anymore? He really kind of doesn't. He will be in the Flash movie, though, so that is a sign in the right direction where it's like, well, if he ever wants to come back, he already did say yes to it, and who knows? Everybody really does seem to have a really good relationship in terms of actors with Zack Snyder. And again, while Zack maybe wouldn't be all that closely connected to a Batman movie, I think he would have a little bit of pull, or maybe they could help get things together. Again, this one's a lot more tough, but really, it's not, because, again, the idea of bringing them all back for a Justice League 2, okay, again, with Ray Fisher, with all the stuff that's happened there, with Ben Affleck, because, again, he does kind of want to be done. He'll be in The Flash, but it won't be in a massive, massive role, but, would he do a Justice League 2? So, I get asking or wanting a Batman standalone, and you have the Robert Pattinson one, which obviously that kind of I think as a community, we can handle more than one Batman at any given time because of just different universes, but I don't know if the executives would be all that happy. I don't really know why, because clearly Marvel is going down that route, and I think it's going to work for them pretty solidly, but I think, through TV and games and movies and stuff, we are used. It wouldn't be all that shocking. It wouldn't be all that confusing. I feel like maybe some people out there, not you and me, but I think maybe some executives would be like, well, maybe that's too confusing to have two Batmans at the same time. Would it though? Because in reality, it's just more Batman, and it's more money that you'd be making because people do love Batman, right? And people support Batman. So I really don't get the side of, if anybody even thinks this, I don't even know if people think this, but like, oh, it'd be too confusing, it'd be too much stuff going on. I mean, you could easily have two different Batmans going on. You could have Zack Snyder doing his Justice League stuff while you're messing with the DC universe in other universes. You're giving it to other directors to try different things. All of these movies and shows that are in development with HBO Max and just Warner Bros. In general, they're doing a lot of stuff. Some with characters that are established, some that are not. You can still do that. You could still do that and have these movies. I really don't think it would be all that bad to do both of them. That's really where I kind of stand on that. And so again, like maybe because they're Robert Pattinson one, they don't want to mess with it and do two Batman movies at the same time. Maybe they only want to handle one Batman at a time. But yet again, the Flash movie will most likely have Michael Keaton, will most likely have Ben Affleck. So you'll have established that there can be multiple Batmans that are out there. So like, I really don't think it would be all that difficult. It would just really, to me, it comes down to, would Ben Affleck do it? Because I think that the way they've done stuff, the way they've established stuff, obviously, again, the Darkseid invasion and the Nightmare stuff, and going with the evil Superman and all that stuff, I mean, that is clearly where Zack wants to go. Okay, now will he be allowed to do that? I don't know. But he also, again, like Legion of Doom and stuff, he leaves the door open. Martian Manhunter, he leaves the door open in other ways where it's like, hey, you want to do a Martian Manhunter side thing? Go ahead. You want to throw him into Justice League? Go ahead. You want to do another Batman standalone thing? Go ahead. You want to, obviously, this movie very much set up Aquaman, but obviously because of when these movies came out, we all know that and stuff. But like, that was very much established here. So like, I think it's possible. I really, really do. So and to me, again, quite honestly, I don't think, because I feel like when you talk about a Justice League 2 versus this movie would be looked at as like, hey, Justice League 2 is crazy to want. This is even crazier. Not, in my opinion, not really, because you're still dealing basically with a multiverse. You're dealing with different Batmans going on at the same time, but I don't think that's a big deal. And you're still dealing with, if you do a Justice League 2, you'd have to bring Ben Affleck back anyway. So it's like, well, why couldn't you do the side movie anyway, right? So that's my thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. Whatever you guys want to talk about. Obviously, we talked about a couple different things Justice League related already. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, we are so close to 2,000 followers. We're getting down 30, 40 people left. So if you guys haven't followed me over on Twitter yet, PodcastNow15 is my Twitter handle. Would love to have you guys over there. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.